Najib Abdul Razak may have been convicted of pocketing millions from a state-owned company, but that didn't stop him from being made the face of Malaysia's strong relations with China this morning. He was the keynote speaker at the World Chinese Economic Forum, where he also had time to call Dr Mahathir Mohamad a racist and a liar.
A racist and a liar. That's how Najib Abdul Razak described Dr Mahathir Mohamad for switching his stance on foreign direct investment from China during his 22-month rule with Pakatan Harapan. Speaking at the 2021 World Chinese Economic Forum, Najib cited the controversial Forest City project as an example. Najib said Mahathir attacked him by turning the project into political propaganda.
Prior to 2018, former Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad claimed that the Barisan National Government was forsaking the country's sovereignty to China, that we were offering 700,000 citizenships to Chinese nationals to move to Forest City. Clearly an outrageous, racist and abhorrent lie.
Najib added that Mahathir even promised to cancel the project should Pakatan Harapan win power at the time. However, Najib claimed soon after the 2018 election, Mahathir began switching his stance.
Suddenly, lo and behold, they say that the Forest City project had contributed immensely to the government, created employment opportunities, promoted technology transfer and innovations, and had benefited Malaysia's economic growth and job creation. So much so that Dr Mahathir even attended a ceremony to present a certificate of appreciation to the Forest City company. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, from selling sovereignty to certificate of appreciation, all within a space of a year.
Many were puzzled why the organizer would invite a convicted criminal to speak at their forum. That's simply because it wasn't a factor the organizers considered.
The World Chinese Economic Forum invited former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak as a keynote speaker because of his commitment to Malaysia-China bilateral relations. WCEF chairperson Chia Chuan Yong said Najib's conviction by the High Court over the SRC International case was not considered by the forum organizers. He said when Najib was Prime Minister for 9 years, China-Malaysia relations were very strong, especially on the economic side.
So, during Najib as Prime Minister, the 9 years, both China and Malaysia relationship is very strong on the economic side. So that's why we decide to invite him as a keynote. So there's nothing we do with whether he convicted or not convicted, you know.
On top of that, he said Najib's father and second Prime Minister, Abdul Razak Hussain, laid the foundation for bilateral ties between the two countries. He said Najib's invitation was sent out before the December 7th Court of Appeal decision to uphold the High Court's verdict. Last July, the High Court sentenced Najib to 12 years jail and fined 210 million ringgit for 3 counts of criminal breach of trust, 3 counts of money laundering and 1 count of abuse of power. Apart from being a keynote speaker, Najib will also be the special guest for the WCEF Gala Dinner and Award Ceremony tonight.
If you're on the road and you see an ambulance, give way unless it's determined by the police that letting an ambulance pass could pose a risk to other road users.
Police were forced to stop an ambulance to make way for the Prime Minister's convoy yesterday in the interest of safety. The incident in Hulu Langat, Selangor, which was captured on video, sparked public backlash. Selangor Traffic Investigations and Enforcement Department Chief Azman Shariat explained that the lead vehicles of the convoy had to stop a 4-wheel drive vehicle and an ambulance at a junction. Both vehicles were owned by the Red Crescent Society. He said if the traffic police had allowed the 2 vehicles to turn at the junction into the main road, there would be a risk of an accident and cause danger to road users. He said therefore the convoy on the main road was given priority to avoid any accidents based on the initial assessment by the traffic police. Azman stressed that the rescue vehicles were held up for only a short time and were given priority immediately after the convoy had passed.
Like many of you have asked on social media, Wong Kah-Wah has also questioned why the PM's convoy was given priority over an ambulance. Opposition lawmaker Wong Kah-Wah has questioned why the Prime Minister's convoy was given priority over an ambulance in an incident yesterday. According to police, the ambulance was stopped in the interest of safety to avoid the risk of an accident. Wong thanked the police for maintaining the utmost safety on the road, however questioned why the convoy was given priority over the ambulance. He pointed out that Rule 9(1) of the road traffic rules states that any ambulance shall, when on urgent duty, have the right of way over all other traffic. The Ipoh Timur MP then questioned who was actually on urgent duty, Ismail Sabri, together with this convoy, or the little ambulance that was seen at the site, which was badly hit by floods. While the rules may not be clear on who has the priority in such a situation, Wong said there is no need for the law to govern something like this. He said basic logic and conscience will tell us no one can take priority over others who are rushing to save lives. Now we have a message from our sponsor. When we're back, we see who's the latest politician to be trolled on Twitter.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
We saw Rina Harun spray lizard and bird droppings with a high-powered water jet. Now are you ready to see Ismail Sabri Yaakob lift a shovel only to take one single scoop? Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob is the latest politician to come under fire for alleged publicity stunts linked to flood relief efforts. He was accused by social media users of posing with a shovel during a communal cleanup in a flood-hit area. Ismail visited the Hulu Langat area yesterday as part of a whirlwind tour, stopping by several locations, including Taman Sri Nanding and Kampung Dusun Tua. The events were billed as the Keluarga Malaysia Gotong Royong program. According to a video clip of the event widely shared on Twitter, Ismail was made to pose in front of press cameras with a shovel. Ismail scooped up and tossed some dirt while the theme from Jurassic Park played in the background. After one scoop, the shovel was handed to a person in a fire department uniform. At the time of writing, the clip shared by a Twitter user has been retweeted more than 4,000 times. Most people who replied were critical of the authorities. Ahmad Faisal Azumu thought he'd finally get to spend time with family on a holiday overseas. However, after seeing the floods ravaging several parts of the country, Faisal's heart told him to return to the country. Youth and Sports Minister Ahmad Faisal Azumu has admitted to be among cabinet ministers set to be on holiday abroad amid the flood crisis. However, Faisal said he spent less than 12 hours in Dubai last Wednesday before returning to Malaysia. Speaking to Utusan TV, Faisal said he purchased a return ticket only after about 12 hours in Dubai after looking at the country's flood situation. He said this was because his heart felt uneasy. He also said he managed to sit down for a brief chat with his sons after having not met them since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic 2 years ago. Faisal added that he made the decision to return even before Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob cancelled the year leave applications for his cabinet members until after the flood situation had passed. Record amount of rainfall on December 17th had triggered massive flooding in several parts of the country. UMNO Youth says the people want to be able to reach into their EPF savings following the floods, but the government has other plans.
UMNO Youth has received many requests from the public to lobby for another round of 10,000 ringgit withdrawals from the Employees Provident Fund or EPF. Party Youth Chief Ashraf Wajdi Dusuki claimed that these requests were made by flood victims when he was making his rounds in Petaling Selangor. Yesterday, Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the government has no intentions, for now, to allow flood victims to make EPF withdrawals. Ismail Sabri said it was unnecessary and instead urged flood victims to consider Bank Simpanan Nasional's interest-free loan for up to 10,000 ringgit to purchase essential items. This loan comes with a 6-month loan moratorium. He said Tekun Nasional was also offering businesses an interest-free loan of 10,000 ringgit with a 1-year repayment moratorium. Previously, the Muhyiddin Yassin administration allowed EPF account holders to withdraw funds under the iLestari, iSina and iCitra schemes over the past 2 years. This has led to some 101 billion ringgit in withdrawals. As of September 30th, some 6.1 million members have less than 10,000 ringgit in their EPF accounts, while another 3.6 million have less than 1,000 ringgit. Ashraf hoped that the government's decision on EPF withdrawals was not final because Putrajaya's 1,000 ringgit cash handout for flood victims was inefficient.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching.
Everyone wants to see these scenes bigger. That's why we've got bigger TVs for everyone to enjoy them bigger. Watch colors come to life on a large screen. LG NanoCell.